Okay, no laughing. So I've just been sitting there talking away, embossing, chatting away to you. I've gone up to show you a close-up and I'm like, oh, the camera's not filming. My goodness. Oh, just when I thought I was getting back to normal. Anyway, let me just recap on what I just did that you didn't see. So I've die cut this one. Okay, got a nice piece there that I can use, so I'll have a little go on that in a minute. And then this one was here, which came out a bit different to how I thought it was going to be, but then I realised it overlays beautifully on there, so that would be nice, but it might be a little bit difficult to what I want to do, but we'll find out. So I will do this one quickly again because I was just explaining about the Vegas gold, so let me just throw that over there. So yes, I've used the December white dyes, blah de blah de blah. I have to say Elizabeth Craft's dyes do cut out beautifully, really lovely. So let me just, I'll leave this to the side here, but I'll just show you what I did do. So let me just get rid of all this. Okay, so I went in, let's just use this was the bit of paper that I used earlier in the other video. So I go in with my brayer. I love using a brayer for things like this, even a dirty one like this, which has got all sorts of, there we go, all sorts of gremlins on it. It is a good idea. Maybe while I didn't have my mojo, I should have gone in and just cleaned all my craft stuff. And then it might have just brought everything back to me. Who knows? What do you do when you've lost your mojo? I find if I go on something like Pinterest, oh my goodness, I just jump down a rabbit hole then, and then it just all melds into one. So that's probably not my best place. I do actually, and I know this sounds really stupid, I love walking around supermarkets and seeing different colours of packaging and things like that. Even though I come back to teal all the time, I do tend to look and get inspiration from things like something as simple as packaging. Anyway, right, so I go in with my brayer. And then, and the reason I'm showing you this is because there is a little technique to it. So Vegas gold, it's an ultra high. Different to our other golds, totally different colour. It's beautiful. Let's just go over. It's a bit of like a rosy sort of gold. It's lovely. Where's my little doodah? Let's just pick this up. Now with ultra highs, you don't cover the entire thing necessarily, but it does spread a little bit. So don't worry if you've got little bits missing. Okay, let's put that in there. This can go back in the pot. Give it a little flick. Take that off. Now, oh, oh, that's probably going to get covered up. That will get covered over by that bit. Right. The difference is, normally I would heat from underneath. And I could have done that on a flat piece, heated from underneath, and then die cut it. But I just want to show you this way. Now, normally I would go in with my heat tool from underneath and everything's fine. But if you go in from the top, you'll get bits fly off and they just flick off everywhere. Same with anything like this, the Pastiche. Now, I can't remember if I showed you any of this. I probably didn't. Let me just do that. Pastiche, beautiful. It's got white, it's got clear, it's got flakes, it's got glitter. It's a real mixture, but it's beautiful and neutral. The ultra high Vegas gold, which comes in the $1 Million Duo, is just stunning, which you will see in a minute. And then this comes in the $1 Million Duo, the silver glass. And silver glass is not sharp, it's not going to hurt you in any way, but it is just stunning and it gives a lovely sort of accent. So let me show you what I do. I won't go in as close as I normally would. I'm going to come up quite high. And the reason I'm going to do that, it's going to take a bit longer to heat through, but it's just going to gradually melt it and then it's not going to fly everywhere. If you do get it flying a bit, then just come up higher, okay? I'm going to fast forward through this, but it, you know, it don't take that long. Okay, so that's filled in more than the previous one. If I just show you. Oop. You can see that's a bit more pitted. I like that pitted look. So if you want a more pitted look, then yeah, go in a bit closer. Let bits fly off. And that's the fun of it. Anyway, that's going to be my base. Okay, so I want to put that, if I just stick something on it, because that one starts to curl a little bit. So if I make sure it's cool, just stick that on it. I don't know if it's heavy enough. We'll soon find out. Okay, let's get rid of all these bits. Right, so now this is going to be my fiddly bit. This time I want to use the Pastiche with a bit of silver glass, so I've definitely got to go from the top. Okay, I should really go from the bottom. Now, the reason I'm not going to do this from underneath, heat it through, I'd have no bits flying off anywhere, but because it's got the silver glass on it, I don't really want to die cut that, just in case it does any damage anywhere, because it, you know, it's hard, it's glass. So let me just try it. Might be an absolute failure, but it might not. Let's get rid of these little bits. We're just going to get lots and lots of ink on the brayer, so just keep lifting and running, lifting and running. Just go over, cover it entirely in ink. Like so. Just make sure you've got lots and lots of ink on it. You can always do another layer. You could do another layer with the gold if you wanted it to be completely smooth and beautiful. No reason why not. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is flip my paper over. Get rid of any loose bits. Whoops. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is, I don't know if this is going to work. Flick some of the glitter glass on there in places. Now I'm really sort of pushing the boat out here and putting my name to something here that it might not work. Okay, let's just go like so, and then just lift that, shake those bits back in the pot because we don't want any waste. I'll just pop that back in there. The other thing I could have done was taken another empty jar and put some of this glitter glass in with the Pastiche and mixed it. Okay, now this one, when you put this on, you're not just dumping it on, you want to tap and sprinkle all over. Just keep tapping and sprinkling until you cover it. If this doesn't work, then I'm going to do it the original way that I would have done it and just take a risk and see if it makes any difference to the die or the die cutting machine. Okay, let's just throw that on there. Lift this gently. Gentle. Okay, I'm just going to take, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just, might just lay that on there because that's a heat resist anyway. So I'll just throw that back in there. Pop my lid on. And in fact, I might do this on the bit that was die cut out. Do you remember that bit? And then I can show you better on there. Okay, same thing from the top, high. Okay, so we've got our lovely little bits of the glitter glass. It looks like nothing at first, and then all of a sudden it starts melting into it, and you've got that glitter in there. Then you've got the silver glitter glass as well. Now, personally, I would have liked more bits on there. So I could go in and just reheat it and flick little bits. I might try that. Let me try. Let's just throw a few bits in here. I'm just going to reheat. See if that's going to work before I go in and do it all. So I've got nice little chunky bits there. So I need a bit of paper. Bear with while I go in and do this. That's better. Look at that. That's much nicer. Let me just lift this up, get rid of any little loose bits, not many, because they've all stuck to the molten powder. Nice. Okay, throw this back. I know it looks a bit messy. Just throw that back in there. Excuse me. And then that, I was just going to say, where's me tree I done earlier? That can adhere to that. That looks really pretty. Look at that. I'm assuming that completely lines up. I just need to make sure I've got enough adhesive on to get it in place. So bear with while I do that. Okay, so I'll show you it properly when I've let it sit there for a little while. That's the nice thing about using liquid glue, is because you've got time to move it around. Whereas if you use an instant adhesive, then that's it. It's really hard to move, isn't it? So I'll get rid of that bit of paper, bring in this bit of paper, and then if I just quite simply, I'll take a folded card front. That's going to go on there like that. Got a nice little bit of line edge in there. If she says, looking around, probably hasn't got one as usual. So I will just use this. If I sort of do a little dot there, 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 and there. I'll just put a couple there, just so I know. So I can see those there, 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 and there. You might not be able to see them, so apologies for that. But I am now going to go in again, give my pastiche a good old shake. Oh, not that, that's black. Go in with my brayer, and this time I just want to get it in and around those areas. So just want to make sure I don't go over where the card isn't going to cover, if that makes sense. Oh, do you know what? I've just had another thought. Right, give me a minute. Hang on. Although, I shouldn't do it on this because it will come through. But look, let me just show you. Okay, if I use the mixed media brush, I can actually get it nice and thick. Look, let me just... Okay, let's just get that on. I wouldn't recommend doing this on the card base like this, because of the way this ink is made, it will leave like an oily residue on the backside. So I would normally do it on a panel, but just to show you on this, just to give you the idea, and we can see the difference. Oh, sorry, I'm probably coming off camera there. Just throw it, throw it, throw it. You can also just give that a rough, that looks all right. I'm just going to put a little bit more in there. Okay, same thing as with my Ice Crystals trio. This pastiche works the same because it's got so much stuff in it. Tap, tap as you drop, and then move it around and just keep tapping, and you're getting all those different bits out at the same time rather than just all the ultra high in one go and then all the glitter in another go. Just keep tapping as you fill it. Okay, and then you can just go over, cover the whole thing. Right. Now, can you see what I'm saying about the oil coming through? Well, I'm calling it an oil. I don't know what it is actually, but looks oily to me. So I would normally do that on a panel and then adhere that to the front of the card. Love this pastiche, so beautiful. And then this is where I would normally heat from underneath. So let's throw some of that silver glass on there now. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. And what's going to happen is I'm heating from underneath, the powder is going to melt and this is going to sit in that molten powder. And it's gonna look lovely, she says. Right, I'll get those loose bits off afterwards. But for now, I'm gonna come in and heat from underneath. You've got clear ultra high in there, which gives it a totally different look. You've got whites in there, you've got gold glitter in there. We've now got the silver glass in there as well. It just looks beautiful. Brilliant for snowflakes, this powder. Also lovely for like christening cards, wedding cards, and it's just got so many uses, this pastiche. It's beautiful. But look, you see what that's done? So I will probably chop that off, make that a panel, and then put it on another card base. And in the meantime, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? See, that just looks stunning, doesn't it? Now, we could put that on foam pads and raise it up. Oh, I could make it into a shaker card. Marion, stop it. Look, my mojo's coming back. My mojo's coming back. I'm like, yay. It's been a while. I might just keep it simple, though. So let me just stick this down. Now, I will, because it's got little bits that come out, you want to go in there and make sure you get all those bits. And it's going to take a little bit to stick on there because it's going into all that embossing powder, or the molten embossing powder. So let me just go around. Okay, and then just put a little bit around there. And then I will chop this down. So I'm not too bothered about lining it up perfect at the moment. And then you're going to want to put something heavy on it just to hold it in there. Let's just get those out of the way. And, oh, they're not heavy. That's heavy. My Sizzix paste thing is heavy. And there's our other little one that we've done, which just looks lovely. I will then go in, and I'm sure I've done these before. I have, because I can see that I've used them, but I'll go in and make some more of these. In fact, I might, oh, do you know what? Look, I've already done it. I've got them in my little Christmas box. So I went in, stamped them out with my Sizzix platform, and then there's all the coordinating die that goes on there as well, so it makes it nice and easy. So I will choose a couple. Oh, eat, drink and be merry. That's what everyone should do. Not that I drink, but I still think everyone else should. It's cold outside, warmest wishes. Let's just get a few of these out. Oh, I do love that. The most wonderful time. And deck the halls. White Christmas. Oh, that's nice for that one. Feliz Joyo Merry. Joy. Merry Christmas or something, basically. Well, Feliz Navidad is Happy Christmas or Merry Christmas, isn't it? And Joyeux is, I thought that was French for joy. But anyway, I could be wrong. Oh, you've even got Happy New Year in there as well. So if you want to send out New Year ones. These are also great if you're scrapbooking or doing your journal books for when you're doing Christmas pages on that as well. So it's not just, you know, Christmas cards, which actually she has done it as a journal thing. When I say she, I mean Els, obviously. I hope this comes out all right, this video, because I know I messed up at the beginning. Well, I didn't. My camera did. Let's blame the camera. So I'm just going to put these cards together and then I will show you the finished bits at the end. Thanks ever so much for watching. If you liked it and didn't think it was too bad, I'd love it if you subscribed. If you didn't like it, fair enough. There's always someone else. Thanks ever so much, guys. Take care. Bye. Right, so before you go, sorry, I know I said goodbye. Back in the room. Just to show you what I did. So I've mounted this back onto another card base, so we can't see all that coming through. But I put foam pads down there just to raise it off a bit. And I think that really sort of adds to it. It looks really nice. And then just popped that in between. Really simple, really beautiful. And it was from an extra piece that come out, which is just great. And then this one I've just stuck off centre and then just put "It's cold outside." So this time for real. Thank you so much for watching. And hopefully I'll see you soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Bye.